Welcome
to the J&O Show.
We talk about
weave, and more weave. What you want, what you got? Do you got what I need? Give me all the weave.
What? If I don't like the weave, that's what I don't like.
So what do you like?
I like a natural woman. I love a natural woman. I love someone that's soft. I love a woman that basks in her femininity. I love a woman that loves to cook. And I love a woman who likes to love on me, like what likes me. And I'm used to women like my grandmother, my mom. They didn't wear weave and things like that.
Okay, look.
They didn't have weave back in your granny days, for real.
Yeah, they did. Stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah, they had wigs back in colonial days or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been having weave for a long time.
Yeah.
Talking about look. Let's stay on looks here.
Yeah, that's what
Look,
I love a natural
you went into
woman.
cooking. Okay, we all can cook. I mean, we better know how to cook. We gotta eat.
Well,
That's not necessary, Jill.
that's questionable.
A lot of people nowadays, they just eat out all the time. They Grubhub. Especially with places like Chipotle and all of that around here where you can get stuff that's sort of kind of like your cooked food anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that ain't true.
Yeah. And not just that, especially the way how things are with food in general. Like, you don't have to be the greatest cook, but you have to be someone who is willing to actually go home and cook food as opposed to eating out. Mm-hmm. Because the stuff that they got in the food.
Ew, no.
Like, you got to be selective and know what you're putting in your food, especially if you're thinking about having children and a family, because as a woman, we're the nurturers. We take care of our family. We nurse them to health. You can also nurse them the opposite way if you're not feeding them certain things. It is very important to be able to cook. Like I said, you ain't got to be the best cook, but you need to be able to do something, because you can't just be ordering out or eating out and stuff like that all the time, because that's not going to be beneficial.
Nope. And just to add to that point, one of the things about this, and this doesn't happen to all couples, so I'm not going to say all, but especially more traditionally minded couples, this is how a lot of guys are. I work. Bruh. What do you think about the food? I work. Bruh. That's what I do. I go to work. That's all I do. I just work. I'm serious. Even when you break down all of these complicated conversations that guys are having, a lot of the red pill guys and stuff like that, when you break down all of the stuff that they say they're going to bring to the situation, I work. Yep. That's what they got. And so a lot of guys don't really concern themselves with like, oh, I got to make sure I cook my own food because I got to look at the labels to make sure that that's not something that's actually super common. Yes, it does happen, especially the more modern guys, but the more
who's into health, like
or if you're really into health, if you hitting the gym, if you hitting the squat machine, what up? Yeah, okay. I see you, dog. That's right. You hitting that squat rack, you know what I'm saying? You hitting the leg press. Nah, not the bicep curl, not the bench. All y'all be talking about y'all benching. Y'all walking around with y'all swole up chest and y'all can't hold yourself up because you ain't got no legs. You got them little skinny thighs over there. No, I'm talking about the dudes that hit the squat rack. Yeah, because people scared of that leg press. No, the squat rack. They'll hit the leg press because you can put 15,000 plates on it. Yeah, everybody like the leg press because you can get up under it. You can put 15,000 plates on it and then move it like this. You can move it this much and think you're doing something. No, squat all the way down to parallel or below. Get your booty muscles all strong and big, bro. That's what you're doing. That's when you really know you're putting in work. You're in the squat. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a tangent. I'm sorry, y'all. But I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
What's your look type?
I can't. It's not a certain look.
It has to be because you're popping on weave.
I say that I don't like weave.
But we love to wear weave, honey.
Yes, and y'all wear weave for each other. Y'all don't wear weave for us. I guarantee you probably is if.
This is funny because we've had this conversation before. Yep. About how women dress for women and not women don't dress for men.
Yes, that's true.
And I find it very interesting because to me, it's kind of like a catch-22 because women know that men are visual creatures and because sex sells with everything and the sexy women that you see on billboards, on TV and this, that, and the third or whatever, they have a certain look. They have long hair, whether or not it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? They look a certain way. So women naturally are going to try to look like that because that's what's constantly being promoted. And they see that guys flock to that. That's something that I was going to say find attractive. They may not even find it attractive.
No, they might find it attractive.
They find it
initially.
Yeah, they find it attractive initially. And so women basically try to compete with other women because they know that men are looking at that. So they're like, oh, okay, well, if she's, if he's flocking to her because that's what's being shown and that must be the thing. And it's like, okay, well, that does look nice. I like the way that looks too. Let me go ahead and let me try to look like that as well. But I do understand that there's a difference as far as what guys may look at to want to entertain.
Girl, you just say he was trying to get the walls.
Yeah, that a guy may want, just to be able to have the walls versus a guy who's actually looking for someone to commit. And I think that's the difference. But it's confusing. And that was my point. It's confusing to women because it's just like, okay, well, you guys say that, but you always go to this chick. But then the argument is, it's like, okay, yeah, they go to this chick, but that's not the chick that they end up with. They don't end up marrying that chick. Look to see who they actually end up marrying. And it's just like, but I understand the conflict basically with women when it's just like, okay, well, I feel like I have to compete and I have to look a certain way to compete because these things seem to be attracting because it is getting their attention and I want their attention on, to be on me. So I'm going to try to look a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And not just that, but I think women, they like the way it looks too, it's something that has become a standard of beauty, being able to have long, voluptuous hair and different things like that or what have you. So it's like, it makes sense. I get it.
Here's the issue I have with it. And you can see it in this clip. They ask the man what he thinks. And then when he tells them what he thinks, they berate him for what he thinks.
Oh, boy.
This is the problem that a lot of women have.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're never going to get the answer that you want because you're not willing to listen to a man give you the answer. And a lot of men know that if I tell them what I really think, just like in this clip, they're going to jump all over me. Like, men are very simple. Yes, men tend to like longer hair because for the most part, it's the way that you view women in general, that they have long hair. Will a man actually date with and marry a woman who has shorter hair? Yes. Will a man live with and date a woman who actually has weave? Yes. At the end of the day, people are marrying all types of people across the board. This is really internet speak, to be honest. This is something that's in the internet where they're bringing up issues that people don't really talk about that much in real life. But men generally do like amongst us, we tend to like the natural hair, but you got to take care of it. And it's not the easiest thing to make long. Like, it's a lot of care that would have to go to make our hair long, or you have to lock it.
If you guys made it this far, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit those post notifications, and give us a thumbs up so that way YouTube knows that you appreciate what we're putting down.
What we're putting down.
Yes, there is a lot that goes into it, but it's more so learning your hair type.
Right.
Because for so long, that's not something that we were taught. We didn't really know or think that, we can have long hair outside of locking it.
Right.
I mean, things have changed, thank God, over the past decade or so, where you see a lot of beautiful brown sisters with, hair that's way down here and longer, and it's natural. It's not even locked. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's their hair because they've learned. We have like the different types of numbers now. We got 4B, 4A, 4C type hair and your curl pattern and all sorts of kind of stuff. And that's not something that we knew about and knew how you should treat your hair, like what type of products to use in your hair, what type of moisturizer to use, all those different things. So for the longest, it was just not something that we knew how to do.
I still don't know how to do it. My beard is at least twice this length, and I can't get no length out of it. My hair be looking stingy to death on here, bro. But every time I go and I dye, that's right, I dye. Y'all see the grays coming in? I gotta dye it again. But every time I go and I dye, this thing be all the way down to my neck when I dye because it's wet and it got the stuff in it and it just be hanging out. I'm like, where's all that length when I'm looking for it? Because I ain't learned my curl pattern. I ain't learned if it's 4A, 4B, 4C. And guess what? I'm probably not gonna know because I don't really care that much. But I would like to be able to do that. I don't know. Maybe I need to start going to a barber and he can tell me how to do that. But we can go back to the clip.
Probably if it's 5 guys, 3 to 4 of us don't like weave, but we'll take it though because that's what y'all do. But we don't prefer that stuff. Y'all wear that to be in competition with each other.
You are so fake.
He is really delusional.
That's real.
That
That is so
Hey, if the brothers up here don't step up and say nothing, y'all better not.
We wear it for ourselves.
It's nothing.
Women, we wear it for ourselves. I feel like deep down we're competing. We know that we're competing to a certain extent. So we're wearing it for ourselves, yes, because we want to look good, but we also want to look good to the opposite sex.
And this is something that men have been saying a lot lately that a lot of women just are not picking up on, and they're just going to continue to have issues until they do. Your hair matters so much less than the reaction they're giving him as he's telling them what his opinion is.
He ain't lying.
You're trying to correct a man on his opinion. Because this isn't a right or wrong thing. This is what he likes. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to correct what he likes so that it fits what you are. Mm. And that's a big part of the reason why there's such a disconnect between men and women, especially in our community, because a man can't actually say what he really thinks without being attacked for it. And in man world, this would not be considered attacking. This would be like hazing, and we wouldn't really care. But we can't have the same rules of engagement with women that we do in men. So when you're doing mixed stuff, this is attacking.
But do you understand what I was saying as far as why women can be confused?
Here's the thing. Nowadays, I don't believe there's a reason to be confused anymore. When we were dating, there was reason to be confused because men were not really talking then.
But your actions, you say one thing, but your actions don't necessarily add up to that.
What we have to settle for, because everybody's doing the same thing, is very different from preference. If you were to ask me, Jermaine, would you rather have had me when my hair was natural and when I had locks and stuff like that, or would you prefer me with wigs and weave? I would tell you unequivocally, I prefer you with locks and I prefer you with natural hair. I always have preferred that. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that's not something that I was able to tell every girlfriend that I've ever had, especially back in the day when I was more blue pill, because I cared too much about what they thought and how they felt to actually be able to stand up and tell the truth. But I'm no longer in that position. I'm in a position now like, look, I'm going to tell the truth whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, you just got to deal with it.
Ouch.
This is the big difference between men and women. Men have to take what they can get. Women are the ones who have all the options. Yep. So if I find somebody and she's pretty and she's cute and she, is not lazy and we have similar belief systems, and that might be the best I'm gonna get. Seriously, unless you're a guy who's just out there practicing, approaching all of these different women, practicing. But at that point, you start to turn into a different type of guy who doesn't want to get married anymore because you start to realize, I could just go out here and be smashing all of these women without having any of their commitment. So it's just like for the average guy, you don't have a lot of options. Okay. So you take what you can get. And as far as what they advertise out there, men tend to like long hair just because it's a more feminine thing usually. Now I know a lot of dudes wear locks. I used to have locks all the way down my back too. But it's just one of those things where that attracts the male gaze regardless. But men are going to tell you, like, if I had a preference, I would prefer you just natural. But that's the difference, like you said, between the woman that I wife and the woman that I probably just am looking at to date. And who guys pay for the OF account of and who they marry is not usually the same woman. Dudes ain't marrying the OF model or the Instagram model. That's not usually. Some, of course, some of them are married. Some of them are married and doing it.
Ew, no.
But for the most part, the conversations that they're having, those aren't the women that they're marrying. You know what I'm saying? And remember when Kim K was hot? When she was like the standard of beauty and stuff like that, and all these women was going out getting BBLs and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of them single with a deflated booty. And you got to make
deflated booty.
You got to make the decision. You want to be the fantasy, the fetish, or do you want to be the wife? That's the decision you have to make. And you have to have the discernment to tell what guys are telling you they want in each of those categories and seeing if it's worth you going that route. Because I'm also an artist, so I also believe in self-expression. And there's nuance. And we also understand this is an internet conversation. Yeah. In real life, a whole bunch of us is marrying women with weaves. When we got married, she was wearing weaves when she wanted to. She was wearing wigs when she wanted to. One day she had an afro. The next day she had long, silky white girl hair. Like it didn't. And honestly, I didn't care. Like at that time, it wasn't a huge thing. But preference, I preferred you natural.
Okay, we'll see. You got what you wanted.
I was gonna say something, but Christian. See, y'all don't know how many jokes y'all miss because I'm trying to be good for Jesus. I'm being good for Jesus. trying to be good for you, Lord. Giving it my all.
Okay. Well, let us know your thoughts below. All right.
Okay, guys, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that notification button. I need you to hit all the buttons. Thank you. Y'all see how fast I say that? I need to start doing mouth exercises because that sounded terrible. All right, y'all. Peace.
Hey, everybody. Down in the description, there are 2 links.
One is to a GoFundMe, and the other one is to a video that explains what the GoFundMe is for. Long story short, we have a medical situation with our daughter that we have to pay for everything out of pocket, and we could really use you guys' help. If you have the time, we'd love for you to go check it out. If you have the money, the funds, we'd love for you guys to help. If not, maybe you could send a link to somebody else who can help. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Peace.
Press the off button.